Hey there. Welcome to our channel. We're so glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe to join us for awesome content. Also share this video with your family and friends. Let's get started. The whisper of the helix, you lie still, your breath soft as a breeze, the world outside fading into a hush. The room feels like a cocoon, warm and quiet, wrapping you in the gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat. In this stillness, your mind drifts, carried on a current of curiosity, to a place where life's deepest secrets hum like a distant melody. You imagine a spiral staircase, delicate and luminous, twisting upward in the darkness of your thoughts. This is no ordinary staircase. It is the double helix, the elegant scaffold of life itself, its twin strands curling like ribbons in a cosmic dance. Each step is a code, a whisper of possibility, written in the language of DNA. You pause here, in this quiet space, and feel the weight of that word, DNA. It's not just a term, not just a string of letters. It's the story of you, your eyes, your smile, the way your heart beats in this moment. Deoxyribonucleic acid, the molecule that holds the blueprint of every living thing, feels like a poem written across time. You picture it now, a ladder twisting gently, its rungs made of chemical pairs, adenine with thymine, guanine with cytosine, like lovers holding hands across the spiral. These pairs, these base pairs, are the letters of life's alphabet, spelling out instructions for every cell in your body. Your breath deepens, and you marvel at how something so small, invisible to your eyes, carries the weight of existence. As you drift deeper into this thought, you sense a new presence in this quiet scene. A soft hum, a subtle shift in the air. This is CRISPR, a tool born from nature's own ingenuity, discovered in the humble bacteria that live in places you'll never see. Hot springs, ocean depths, the soil beneath your feet. You imagine a bacterium, tiny and resilient, defending itself against invaders. It wields a kind of molecular memory, a library of snippets stolen from viruses it has fought and won. CRISPR, short for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, is its weapon, a way to recognize and cut the DNA of enemies with precision. Scientists, listening to this whisper from nature, learn to borrow this tool, to wield it like a pair of delicate scissors in the vast workshop of life. You picture these scissors now, not cold or sharp, but glowing softly, guided by hands unseen. They snip with care, targeting a single stretch of DNA, a single sentence in the story of a cell. You imagine the helix opening, just for a moment, like a book parting to reveal a page. The scissors, guided by a molecule called RNA, a gentle courier of instructions, find their mark. They cut, and in that cut lies a possibility. To remove a flaw, to mend a broken code, to rewrite a line in the story of life. Your mind sways with the rhythm of this idea, the elegance of it. CRISPR is not just a tool. It's a conversation with life itself, a way to ask, what if? But as you linger in this thought, a soft question rises, like a ripple on a still pond. Who holds these scissors? You imagine hands, careful hands, curious hands, trembling hands, reaching for the helix. Scientists in labs, their faces lit by the glow of screens, study the code of life with reverence and caution. They dream of erasing diseases, of snipping away the mutations that cause suffering. You think of sickle cell anemia, a single typo in the DNA that twists red blood cells into crescents, stealing breath and strength. CRISPR could correct that typo, could restore the sentence to its proper form. You feel a warmth at this thought, a hope that hums like a lullaby. Yet, in this quiet, your mind wanders to other hands. Parents, perhaps, dreaming of a child free from illness. Leaders shaping policies that decide who can use this tool. Communities wondering if this power will reach them or pass them by. The helix, so delicate, seems to pulse with questions. What does it mean to rewrite humanity? To choose which traits endure, which fade? You imagine the spiral staircase stretching upward, its steps leading to places unknown. Each snip, each edit is a choice that could ripple across generations, like a stone dropped into a lake. Your breath slows further, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The helix glows in your mind, its strands shimmering with possibility and responsibility. You think of the scientists who first unraveled DNA's structure, Watson, Crick, Franklin, standing in awe before this same staircase. Their discovery was a beginning, a first step into a vast unknown. Now, CRISPR is a new step, a tool that lets humanity not just read the code but write it. You feel the weight of this, not heavy but gentle, like a hand resting on your shoulder. It's a power that feels both intimate and immense, as personal as your own heartbeat and as vast as the stars. As you drift closer to sleep, the staircase seems to fade, but its whisper remains. You wonder about the hands that will wield CRISPR scissors, the minds that will choose which codes to keep, which to change. The questions are soft, not urgent, but they linger like the afterglow of a sunset. Who gets to decide? And how will they know what's right? Your mind, calm and curious, carries these thoughts like a gentle current, flowing toward a new question, a new chapter. What does it mean to hold the scissors of creation, to shape life itself? The scissors of creation. Your breath is slow, a gentle tide pulling you deeper into the quiet of your mind. The world around you softens, the edges of the day blurring into a warm, enveloping hush. You find yourself standing in a vast, luminous workshop, where the air hums with purpose. Before you lies the double helix, that delicate spiral staircase from your earlier thoughts, its strands glowing like threads of moonlight. But now, something new catches your attention. A pair of scissors impossibly small, yet radiant with potential. These are not ordinary tools. They are CRISPR, the scissors of creation, moving with a grace that feels like a dance across the fabric of life. You watch, your heart steady, as these molecular scissors glide toward the helix. They are guided by a whisper of RNA, a soft-spoken messenger that knows exactly where to go. Imagine a librarian, gentle and precise, finding a single sentence in a vast book. The RNA is like that librarian, leading the scissors to one specific spot in the DNA's endless story. You feel the rhythm of this moment, the quiet click of the cut, as the scissors snip a single thread. It's not a violent act but a careful one, like trimming a rose to help it bloom. The helix parts, and in that tiny gap lies a world of possibility. You pause, your mind drifting like a leaf on a stream, and consider what this cut means. In a lab somewhere, perhaps under the glow of a microscope, a scientist uses CRISPR to edit a gene. You picture a child with cystic fibrosis, her lungs struggling against a faulty code. One snip, one careful edit, could rewrite that code, letting her breathe freely. The thought wraps around you like a warm blanket, soothing yet profound. CRISPR's power is not just in cutting but in mending, in replacing a flawed instruction with one that restores balance. You imagine the cell reading its new script, its machinery humming smoothly, like a song finding its harmony. But as you linger in this workshop, your mind sways to the elegance of how CRISPR works. It's a gift borrowed from nature, from bacteria that learned to fight viruses millions of years ago. You picture a bacterium, small as a speck of dust, facing a viral invader. It captures a piece of the virus's DNA, tucking it away like a warning note in a library. When the virus returns, the bacterium's CRISPR system recognizes it, sending those tiny scissors, called Cas proteins, to slice the intruder apart. Scientists, watching this ancient battle, saw a tool they could adapt. You marvel at this, your breath soft, and even at how human curiosity turned a microbe's defense into a key for unlocking life's code. Your thoughts drift deeper, and you imagine the scissors at work in other ways. In a field of golden wheat, swaying under a twilight sky, CRISPR edits genes to make crops resist drought or pests. You see a farmer, her hands worn from years of toil, smiling as her harvest thrives. In a hospital, a researcher uses CRISPR to silence a gene that fuels cancer, giving a patient more time, more moments with loved ones. The possibilities unfold like petals, each one a quiet promise. Your mind feels light, carried by the rhythm of these images, each one a thread in the tapestry of life's potential. Yet, as you rest in this glow, a gentle question stirs, like a breeze rustling leaves. Who decides where these scissors cut? You picture the helix again, its strands holding not just one life but many, stretching across generations. Each snip is a choice, a decision that could ripple outward, touching lives you'll never know. You think of the scientist, her brow furrowed as she weighs the risks. A wrong cut, an unintended change, could alter the helix in ways no one can predict. You imagine a butterfly, its wings altered by a single stroke, flying a new path. What paths might CRISPR's cuts create? Your heart beats softly, the questions settling like dust in a quiet room. You breathe deeper, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The workshop begins to fade, but the scissors linger in your mind, their glow steady and serene. You think of the hands that guide them, hands of care, hands of ambition, hands of hope. Each cut is a step into the unknown, a dance between what is and what could be. You feel the weight of this, not heavy but gentle, like a hand resting on your heart. The helix, the scissors, the choices, they all hum with a quiet energy, a rhythm that carries you towards sleep. As you drift closer to the edge of dreams, you imagine a garden vast and green, where every plant is a life shaped by these careful cuts. The scissors of creation have opened a door, but what lies beyond? You wonder, your thoughts soft and unhurried. Who will walk through that door, and what gardens they will grow? The question lingers, a gentle thread pulling you toward the next chapter, where the possibilities of CRISPR bloom like flowers under a starry sky. The garden of genes, your breath flows like a soft river, carrying you deeper into the quiet of your mind. The world around you dissolves, leaving only the warmth of your bed and the gentle rhythm of your thoughts. You find yourself standing in a garden, vast and luminous, where the air hums with life. Each plant here is unique, its leaves shimmering with the delicate touch of CRISPR scissors. The garden stretches beyond sight, its paths winding through rows of possibility. Flowers that bloom without disease, trees heavy with resilient fruit, vines curling toward futures yet unwritten. You walk slowly, your feet sinking into soft earth, and feel the pulse of this place, where science and hope grow side by side. You pause beside a slender plant, its leaves glowing faintly, as if lit from within. This is a life touched by CRISPR, a gene edited to banish a hereditary illness. You imagine a family, their hearts once heavy with the shadow of Huntington's disease, a condition that steals movement, memory, time. With a single snip, CRISPR silenced the faulty gene, letting this plant, this life, grow strong and free. You breathe deeply, the air sweet with the scent of possibility. The garden feels alive with stories like this, children running without the burden of genetic disorders, adults aging without the fear of inherited cancers. Each plant is a promise, a whisper of what could be. Your steps carry you further, to a field where golden crops sway under a twilight sky. Here, CRISPR has woven resilience into the roots of rice and wheat, making them thrive in drought or defy pests that once devoured harvests. You picture a village, its people gathered around a table, their plates full because these crops endured. The science feels so human here, so close to the earth. You think of the scientists who crafted these genes, their hands steady as they edited DNA to feed millions. The garden hums with their care, each stalk a testament to human ingenuity rooted in nature's wisdom. But as you wander deeper, the light softens and shadows pool beneath the leaves. You notice a plant, its branches slightly twisted, its growth uneven. Your heart stirs, a gentle ripple of unease. This plant, too, was touched by CRISPR, but something went awry, a cut too deep, a change unforeseen. You imagine an off-target edit, a snip that altered more than intended, like a note in a melody that shifts the entire song. Scientists call these unintended consequences, moments when the helix's story takes an unexpected turn. You feel the weight of this, not heavy but quiet, like a stone resting in your palm. The garden, for all its beauty, holds risks as delicate as its blooms. You sit on a bench carved from smooth wood, the garden stretching around you like a dream. Your mind drifts to the gardeners, the scientists, policymakers, communities who tend this place. Each holds a pair of CRISPR scissors. Each makes choices that shape the garden's growth. You wonder about their decisions. Should they edit genes to enhance traits, stronger muscles, sharper minds? You imagine a rose, its petals brighter than nature intended, and feel a pang of uncertainty. Is this still a rose, or something new? The question sways in your thoughts, soft and unhurried, like a leaf falling to the ground. Your breath deepens, your body sinking further into the softness of your bed. The garden's paths lead you to broader questions, ones that linger like the scent of flowers. What happens if this garden grows unevenly? You think of places where CRISPR's promise might not reach, communities without access, lives left untouched by its light. The garden could become a place of divides, its bounty shared by some but not all. You picture a fence, invisible but real, separating those who benefit from those who wait. The thought is gentle but persistent, a whisper that asks who this garden is for. You rise from the bench, your steps slow, and notice a seedling pushing through the soil. It's fragile, its future unwritten, yet it carries the potential of CRISPR's touch. You think of the diseases still unconquered, the crops still vulnerable, the lives still waiting for a chance to thrive. The garden is not finished. It grows with every choice, every careful snip. You feel a warmth at this, a hope that hums like a lullaby. The gardeners, you sense, are learning, their hands guided by caution as much as courage. They study the helix, they listen to its whispers, they weigh each cut with care. As you walk toward the garden's edge, the stars above seem to pulse with questions. What will this garden become? You imagine it years from now, its plants taller, its paths more intricate. But you also see the shadows, the possibility of missteps, of choices that alter the garden's balance. Your mind, calm and curious, holds both the light and the shadow, both the promise and the caution. The garden feels like a living thing, breathing with you, its rhythm matching the rise and fall of your chest. You pause at a gate, its iron cool beneath your touch, and look back at the garden one last time. The plants sway, their leaves catching the starlight, each one a life shaped by human hands. You wonder about the weight of a single snip, the power of a single choice. The question feels intimate, as close as your own heartbeat, yet vast as the garden itself. As you drift closer to sleep, your thoughts turn to the fragility of each cut, the delicate balance of creation. What does it mean to hold such power, to shape a single life with a single snip? The weight of a single snip, your breath is a gentle wave, lapping at the edges of your thoughts. As you sink deeper into the quiet of your mind, the garden from before fades, its vibrant greens and swaying stalks softening into a new scene. You stand now in a vast, starlit void, where a single point of light hovers before you. It's small, delicate, like a dewdrop catching the glow of dawn. This is a gene, a single sentence in the endless book of life's code, held gently in the cradle of your thoughts. You feel its fragility, its weight, as if you could cup it in your hands. With CRISPR scissors, one snip could change its story forever. Your heart beats softly, and you wonder, what does a single cut mean? You imagine the gene pulsing, its light steady yet tremulous, like a star seen through a veil of mist. This tiny fragment of DNA holds instructions, a blueprint for a protein, a trait, a life. You picture a scientist in a lab, her eyes focused, her hands steady as she guides CRISPR to this very gene. Perhaps it's one linked to a disease, like Tay-Sachs, where a single error turns a child's future into a fleeting shadow. With one precise cut, CRISPR could remove that error, restoring the gene's harmony. You feel a warmth at this thought, like sunlight breaking through clouds. The power to heal, to rewrite suffering into hope, feels as intimate as a whispered promise. Yet, as you hold this gene in your mind, the void around you seems to hum with quiet caution. A single snip is not just a cut. It's a choice, a ripple that could spread far beyond this moment. You imagine the helix, that luminous staircase, trembling as the scissors touch it. What if the cut misses its mark? What if it changes more than intended? Scientists call these off-target effects, moments when CRISPR's precision falters, altering other genes in ways no one foresaw. You picture a tapestry, its threads carefully woven, but one misplaced snip frays the pattern, creating flaws that echo through the fabric. Your breath slows, the thought settling like a leaf on still water. You drift deeper, the starlit void wrapping you in its calm. You think of the gene again, its light now a beacon for broader possibilities. CRISPR could do more than heal, it could enhance. You imagine a gene for resilience, edited to make a body stronger, a mind sharper. The idea sparkles, like stars reflected in a quiet lake. But as you linger, a question rises, soft but persistent. Should we edit beyond necessity? You picture a child, her eyes bright with potential, her genes shaped not just to prevent illness but to amplify traits, height, intelligence, beauty. The thought feels both thrilling and heavy, like holding a star that could burn too bright. Who decides what's enough? Your mind sways, carried by the rhythm of these questions. You see the scientist again, her face lit by the glow of a screen, weighing each cut with care. She knows the gene's power, its fragility. She studies data, models outcomes, consults with others. But even with all her knowledge, the future remains a shadow, a shape she can't fully see. You feel a kinship with her, a shared sense of awe and responsibility. The gene in your hands pulses, its light a reminder of the lives it could touch. A single person, a family, a generation. The weight of a single snip feels vast, yet it rests in human hands, as fallible as they are hopeful. You breathe deeper, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The void around you feels less empty now, filled with the quiet hum of possibility. You think of the history of science, of moments when humanity held such power, penicillin, vaccines, the mapping of the genome. Each was a step, a choice, a leap into the unknown. CRISPR is another, its scissors sharper, its stakes higher. You imagine the gene's light spreading, touching lives across the world, curing blindness in a village, easing hunger in a city, giving a child a chance to grow. But you also see the risks, the unintended ripples, the choices that could shift the balance of life itself. The starlit void begins to fade, but the gene's light lingers, a soft glow in your thoughts. You wonder about the hands that wield CRISPR scissors, not just scientists but society itself. You picture parents, dreaming of a healthy child, their hopes tangled with fears of the unknown. You see communities debating who should access this power, who should bear its costs. The gene feels personal now, as close as your own heartbeat, yet it belongs to everyone. Your mind drifts, calm and curious, holding both the promise and the peril of this tiny light. As you move closer to sleep, the void softens into a gentle darkness. The genes glow a quiet beacon. You think of the choices that lie ahead, each one a snip, each one a step into a future unwritten. The weight of a single cut feels both heavy and light, like a feather that could tip a scale. You imagine those who will make these choices, scientists, families, you, standing together, their voices soft but clear. What will they say? What will they choose for the generations yet to come? The question hums like a lullaby, carrying you toward the next chapter, where the voices of the unborn begin to whisper. The voices of the unborn, your breath is soft, a whisper in the stillness. As you drift deeper into the embrace of your thoughts, the starlit void from before fades, giving way to a new space, a vast, gentle expanse, like an ocean of light rippling under a moonless sky. You float here, weightless, your body cradled by the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat. In this calm, you sense a presence, faint at first, like the brush of a breeze. It grows clearer, a chorus of whispers, soft and distant, yet close as your own thoughts. These are the voices of the unborn, the generations yet to walk the earth, their dreams hovering like fireflies in the darkness. You listen, your mind open, and feel the weight of their potential. With CRISPR scissors, you could shape their lives before they begin. You imagine a child, her genes edited to free her from the shadow of a hereditary disease, cystic fibrosis perhaps, or muscular dystrophy. Her laughter, unburdened by illness, echoes in your thoughts, a melody of hope. You picture her running through a field, her breath steady, her heart strong, because a single snip rewrote her story. The thought wraps around you like a warm shawl, soothing and profound. CRISPR offers this gift, a chance to carve paths of health and possibility for those yet to come. Your thoughts drift, carried by the gentle current of these whispers. Loving this? Hit that subscribe button to keep up with our videos. Also share this video with your family and friends. You see a world where CRISPR's touch reaches further, not just healing but enhancing. You imagine a generation with sharper minds, bodies resistant to disease, lives stretched longer by genes tuned for resilience. The idea glows like a lantern, casting light on futures bright with potential. But as you linger, the whispers shift, their tones softer, more questioning. What do these unborn souls want? You feel their presence, not as demands but as quiet wonderings. Would they choose these changes, or would they wish for the raw, unedited beauty of chance? You pause, your breath slow and even, and consider the hands that wield CRISPR's power. They are your hands, the hands of parents, scientists, societies, hands that dream for the unborn. You picture a couple, their faces lit by hope, choosing to edit their child's genes to prevent a rare disorder. Their love is a river, deep and steady, guiding their choice. But you also see other hands shaping genes for traits deemed better: blue eyes, taller frames, quicker wits. The whispers of the unborn grow fainter here, as if wondering whose dreams are being woven into their code. Your heart stirs, a gentle ripple of unease, as you ask, whose vision should shape these lives? The ocean of light around you pulses, its rhythm matching the rise and fall of your chest. You think of the science behind these choices, the delicate dance of CRISPR scissors. Each edit is a cut, a replacement, a rewriting of DNA's script. You imagine a lab, its air humming with focus, where researchers map genes with care, their screens glowing with the helix's secrets. They know the risks, off-target cuts, unintended changes, but they also know the promise. They dream of a world where no child suffers from sickle cell anemia, where Alzheimer's fades into memory. Their work feels like a bridge, connecting today's choices to tomorrow's lives. Yet, as you float in this quiet space, the voices of the unborn remind you of something deeper. They are not just genes, not just code to be edited. They are stories, each one unique, shaped by chance, struggle, and love. You picture a child, her genes untouched by CRISPR, her life a tapestry of imperfections and triumphs. Her laughter, her tears, her dreams. They are hers, born from the helix's natural song. The thought hums in your mind, soft but persistent. What do we lose when we rewrite these stories? What do we gain? The whispers swirl around you, their questions gentle, like waves lapping at a shore. Your body sinks deeper into the softness of your bed, the ocean of light cradling you like a dream. You think of the generations before you, their lives shaped by nature's unguided hand. They faced diseases, hardships, joys, all woven into the fabric of who they were. CRISPR offers a new path, a chance to ease suffering before it begins. But the voices of the unborn ask you to pause, to listen. You imagine a dialogue, not spoken but felt, a conversation between today's dreamers and tomorrow's lives. Whose voice should carry the most weight? The question feels vast, yet it rests lightly in your thoughts, like a feather drifting on the wind. As you move closer to sleep, the whispers soften, blending into the rhythm of your breath. You see the unborn as a constellation, their lights twinkling in the expanse of possibility. CRISPR could shape their stars, could chart their paths. But you wonder, your mind calm and curious, how to balance your hopes with their freedom. The ocean of light begins to fade, its glow lingering like a memory. You feel the weight of this choice, not heavy but sacred, like holding a seed that could grow into a forest, whose dreams will guide the future. You muse, as the whispers carry you toward the next chapter, where the mirror of equity reflects who shares in CRISPR's promise. The mirror of equity, your breath flows gently, a quiet stream weaving through the stillness of your thoughts. The ocean of light from before fades, its whispers of the unborn softening into a new scene. You stand now before a vast mirror, its surface smooth and luminous, reflecting not just your face but the world itself. The air is warm, the room hushed, as if holding its breath. In this mirror, you see the promise of CRISPR, its delicate scissors gleaming like stars, ready to rewrite life's code. But as you gaze deeper, a question forms, soft as a sigh. Will this promise shine for all, or will it cast shadows, dividing those who receive its light from those left in the dark? You step closer, your heart steady, and the mirror's reflection shifts. You see a hospital room, its walls bright with hope, where a child receives a CRISPR treatment for a rare genetic disorder. Her eyes, once clouded by illness, now sparkle with life. The scissors of creation snipped away her suffering, giving her a future woven with health. You feel a warmth at this, a quiet joy that hums like a lullaby. CRISPR's power feels so close here, so human, as if you could reach out and touch it. This child, this life, is a testament to what science can do when guided by care. But the mirror ripples and the scene changes. Now you see a village, its dirt paths winding through fields parched by drought. The people here work under a relentless sun, their hands calloused, their hopes tied to crops that struggle to grow. You imagine CRISPR's touch, genes edited to make rice thrive in dry soil, to yield more grain for hungry mouths. Yet, the mirror shows no lab, no scientist, no gleaming tools. The promise of CRISPR feels distant, like a star too far to reach. You wonder, your breath slow and even, why this village waits while others reap the harvest of science. The mirror's surface shimmers, and you see a city, its skyline sharp against the twilight. In a sleek office, executives discuss CRISPR's future, therapies for the wealthy, enhancements for those who can pay. You picture a family, their savings drained, unable to afford a treatment that could save their child. The scissors of creation, so precise in their cuts, seem to carve divides as well, separating those with access from those without. The thought settles in your mind, not heavy but gentle, like a leaf falling to the ground. Will CRISPR bridge the gaps between us, or will it deepen them, like rivers carving stone? You pause, your body sinking deeper into the softness of your bed. The mirror reflects a broader truth, one that hums with quiet urgency. CRISPR is not just a tool. It's a choice, a reflection of who we are as a society. You think of the scientists, their hands steady as they edit genes, but also of the systems that decide where those genes are edited. You imagine a world where CRISPR's promise is shared, hospitals in every community, crops engineered for every farmer, therapies priced for every family. The mirror glows at this thought, its light spreading like dawn across a valley. But you know, deep in your heart, that this world is not yet here. Your thoughts drift, carried by the rhythm of your breath. You see the helix again, that luminous staircase, its strands holding the code of all life. CRISPR scissors can cut anywhere, but who decides where they fall? You picture policymakers, their voices soft in a quiet room, debating how to distribute this power. You see communities, gathered in circles, asking who will benefit and who will wait. The mirror shows their faces, diverse, hopeful, wary, each one a thread in the tapestry of humanity. You feel a kinship with them, a shared question that binds you together. How do we make CRISPR's promise fair? The mirror's reflection deepens, and you think of history's lessons. You recall times when science's gifts, vaccines, clean water, electricity, reached some long before others. The delays were not always intentional, but they left scars, divides that lingered across generations. CRISPR stands at a crossroads, its path shaped by choices made now. You imagine a world where equity guides those choices, where the scissors cut not just for profit or privilege but for all who need them. The thought is a gentle flame, warming you as you drift towards sleep. Yet the mirror, you see shadows too. The cost of CRISPR treatments, the patents on its tools, the labs concentrated in wealthier nations, all could tilt the balance, making the promise uneven. You picture a mother, her eyes tired, reading about a new therapy she cannot afford. Her pain is a quiet echo in your thoughts, a reminder of what's at stake. The mirror asks you to hold both the light and the shadow, to see CRISPR's potential and its pitfalls. Your mind sways, calm and curious, as you wonder how to balance these truths. As you move closer to the edge of dreams, the mirror begins to fade, its light softening into a gentle glow. You feel the weight of equity, not as a burden but as a call to care. The helix, the scissors, the choices, they all rest in human hands, hands that can build bridges or walls. You imagine those hands reaching out, sharing CRISPR's light across divides. The question lingers, a soft thread pulling you forward. What risks come with this power, and how do we weave a future where all share in its promise? The mirror's glow carries you toward the next chapter, where the tapestry of risk unfolds. The tapestry of risk your breath is a soft current, flowing gently through the quiet of your mind. The mirror from before dissolves, its shimmering reflections fading into a new scene. You find yourself seated at a loom, vast and ancient, its frame stretching into the shadows of a starlit room. Before you lies a tapestry, its threads vibrant with color, blues of hope, golds of promise, reds of caution. Each thread is a choice, a cut made by CRISPR's delicate scissors, weaving the future of life itself. You run your fingers over the fabric, feeling its texture, and sense the balance of beauty and risk in every stitch. Your heart beats slowly, and you wonder, what happens when the weave goes astray? You lean closer, your thoughts calm and unhurried, and trace a golden thread. This is CRISPR's promise, a strand of possibility woven into the tapestry. You imagine a scientist, her hands steady, using CRISPR to snip a gene that causes blindness. The cut is precise, the gene repaired, and a child sees her mother's face for the first time. The thread glows brighter, its light spreading across the fabric, touching lives with clarity and joy. You feel a warmth at this, a quiet hum of hope that settles like a blanket over your thoughts. CRISPR's power to heal, to mend the broken threads of life, is a pattern of breathtaking beauty. But as you trace the tapestry further, your fingers brush a red thread, its hue deep and trembling. This is the risk, the shadow that lingers in every cut. You picture a lab, its air thick with focus, where a CRISPR edit goes awry. An unintended snip, a misstep in the helix's delicate dance, changes not just the targeted gene but others nearby. Scientists call this an off-target effect, a ripple that could alter a cell's story in ways no one predicted. You imagine a plant in the garden from before, its leaves curling unnaturally, its growth stunted by a single errant cut. The thought rests lightly in your mind, like a stone in a quiet stream, reminding you of the fragility of this work. Your breath deepens, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The loom hums softly, its rhythm matching the rise and fall of your chest. You think of the scientists who weave this tapestry, their minds sharp with knowledge yet heavy with caution. They use tools, computer models, gene maps, careful experiments to guide CRISPR scissors to keep the threads true. But even their precision cannot see every outcome. You picture a river, its waters clear and steady, yet capable of carving unexpected paths through stone. CRISPR is like that river, moving forward with purpose but carrying risks that ripple beyond sight. You weave a new thread into the tapestry, your thoughts drifting to broader risks. What if an edit, meant to heal, passes through generations? You imagine a family, their DNA carrying a CRISPR change meant to prevent disease. But years later, a hidden flaw emerges, a susceptibility no one foresaw. The thread frays, its pattern shifting the tapestry's balance. You feel a gentle pang, not fear but wonder, at how a single snip can echo through time. The scientists know this too. They study, they test, they pause, their hands trembling with the weight of futures they cannot fully know. The tapestry shifts under your gaze, its colors blending into scenes of possibility. You see CRISPR used to engineer mosquitoes, their genes edited to stop the spread of malaria. Villages once plagued by fever now thrive, their children laughing under open skies. But you also see shadows, ecosystems shifting as these mosquitoes vanish, other creatures filling the gaps in ways no one predicted. The tapestry holds both the cure and the caution, each thread a choice that could strengthen the weave or unravel it. Your mind sways, calm and curious, as you ponder the balance of gain and loss. You lean back, the loom's frame fading into the starlit room. The tapestry feels alive, its threads pulsing with the choices of those who wield CRISPR's power. You think of the debates, quiet voices in conference rooms, louder ones in public squares, asking how far this tool should go. Should we edit embryos to prevent disease, or pause at enhancements that could redefine humanity? You imagine a thread, bright with ambition, woven to give a child sharper intelligence. But what if that thread pulls others loose, creating divides in who we become? The question hums softly, like a breeze through the loom, guiding your thoughts toward rest. As you drift closer to sleep, the tapestry glows faintly, its patterns a delicate dance of risk and reward. You feel the weight of each thread, not heavy but sacred, like a promise held in open hands. The scientists, the communities, the dreamers, they all weave together, their choices shaping the fabric of the future. The loom's rhythm slows, matching the gentle tide of your breath. You wonder, your mind soft and unhurried, who will hold these threads, who will guide the scissors through the tapestry's next chapter. The question lingers, a quiet melody carrying you toward the hands that hold the code, where the weight of responsibility takes shape. The hands that hold the code, your breath is a gentle tide, ebbing and flowing in the quiet of your mind. The tapestry from before fades, its vibrant threads softening into a new scene. You find yourself in a vast, open hall, its ceiling lost in a canopy of stars. Before you, a table stretches endlessly, its surface smooth and glowing, as if carved from moonlight. On it lies the double helix, that luminous staircase of life, its strands shimmering with the code of existence. Around the table stand hands, countless hands, each different yet united, reaching toward the helix. These are the hands that hold CRISPR's power, the hands that shape the future. Your heart beats softly, and you wonder, who are they, and how will they guide this delicate dance? You step closer, your thoughts calm and unhurried, and focus on one pair of hands. They belong to a scientist, her fingers steady yet reverent, holding CRISPR scissors with care. You imagine her in a lab, her eyes tracing the helix on a screen, mapping its twists and turns. She targets a gene linked to leukemia, a mutation that steals breath and time. With a precise snip, she edits the code, giving a patient a chance to live. Her hands move with purpose, guided by years of study, by a quiet fire to heal. You feel a warmth at this, a glow that settles like a blanket over your thoughts. Her hands are not just hers. They carry the hopes of those she seeks to help. But as you gaze around the table, other hands appear, each with its own story. You see a parent's hands, trembling with love and fear, reaching for the helix to protect their unborn child. They dream of erasing a hereditary disease, like cystic fibrosis, that could shadow their baby's life. Their choice is personal, as close as a heartbeat, yet it ripples outward, touching the future. You picture them in a quiet room, speaking with a genetic counselor, weighing the risks of a CRISPR edit. Their hands hesitate, not from doubt but from the weight of love, asking if this change will give their child a better story. The thought hums softly, like a lullaby in your mind. Your breath deepens, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The hall glows brighter, and you notice other hands, those of leaders, policymakers, their fingers tracing laws and guidelines. They stand at the table, their voices low, debating who can wield CRISPR scissors and how. You imagine a committee, its members from different nations, cultures, beliefs, striving to balance innovation with caution. They ask, should CRISPR be used to enhance traits, like intelligence or strength? Should it be limited to healing? Their hands move slowly, shaping rules that will guide the helix's future. You feel the weight of their choices, not heavy but steady, like a stone smoothed by a river. You drift further, the hall's starlight wrapping you in its calm. You see hands of communities, gathered in town halls and online forums, their fingers pointing to questions of fairness. They ask who will access CRISPR's promise. Will it reach the poor, the marginalized, or only those with wealth? You picture a farmer, his hands rough from years in the fields, hoping for CRISPR-edited crops to feed his village. His voice joins others, a chorus asking for equity, for a future where the helix's gifts are shared. The thought settles gently, like dew on grass, reminding you that these hands are not alone. They weave together, each choice a thread in a shared story. The helix pulses on the table, its light steady yet fragile. You think of the risks these hands carry, unintended cuts, unforeseen consequences. You imagine a scientist, her hands pausing as she studies a gene's cascade, knowing one snip could ripple through a cell's delicate machinery. You see a parent, their hands clasped in prayer, hoping their choice for their child is right. The leaders, too, feel the weight, their hands drafting policies that could falter or endure. Each hand trembles, not with fear but with awe, holding a power as vast as the stars above. Your mind sways, calm and curious, as you feel the shared responsibility of these choices. The hall's light softens, its stars twinkling like a lullaby. You think of the helix's story, written not by one hand but by many scientists, parents, leaders, communities, even you. Each decision to edit a gene is a step into the unknown, a dance with the future. You imagine a world where these hands work together, their choices guided by wisdom, compassion, and care. The thought is a gentle flame, warming you as you drift towards sleep. But you also sense the challenge. How do these hands find harmony? How do they know the right path through the helix's twists? As you move closer to the edge of dreams, the table begins to fade, but the hands linger, their outlines glowing in the starlight. You feel their connection, their shared hope and caution, as they reach for the code of life. The helix hums, its strands a reminder of the lives it holds. Yours, theirs, the unborn. You wonder, your thoughts soft and unhurried, how these hands will navigate the past's lessons to shape a future that honors all. The question carries you forward, a quiet breeze guiding you toward the next chapter, where the echoes of history whisper their warnings and wisdom. The echoes of history, your breath flows like a quiet river, its current slow and steady, guiding you deeper into the stillness of your thoughts. The glowing table and its many hands fade, dissolving into a new scene. A vast, timeless library, its shelves stretching into the shadows of a starlit dome. Each book here is a moment, a chapter of humanity's dance with science, their pages whispering lessons of triumph and caution. You walk softly, your footsteps hushed on the cool stone floor, and feel the weight of history humming around you. The helix, that luminous staircase of life, rests at the library's heart, its strands pulsing as CRISPR scissors hover nearby. Your heart beats gently, and you wonder, what echoes from the past will guide these cuts? You pause before a shelf, its books worn yet radiant, and reach for one that glows faintly. Its pages open to the early 20th century, to a time when science promised to perfect humanity. The word eugenics drifts from the page, heavy with shadow. You see people, their faces hopeful yet misled, believing they could select the best traits. Stronger bodies, sharper minds, through crude and often cruel methods. They did not have CRISPR's precision, only blunt tools like sterilization and selective breeding, driven by flawed ideals. The echo of their mistakes lingers, a warning carved in time. Science, unchecked, can harm as much as it heals. You feel a quiet pang, not fear but reverence, for the lessons this history holds. Your thoughts drift, carried by the rhythm of your breath, to another book on the shelf. This one tells of penicillin, a discovery that turned death's shadow into hope. You picture hospitals in the 1940s, their wards filled with soldiers saved from infections that once claimed lives. The pages hum with triumph, a reminder of science's power to mend. Yet, even here, echoes of caution whisper. Antibiotics, overused, gave rise to resistant bacteria, a challenge we still face. You see the helix in your mind, its strands fragile yet resilient, and feel the balance of progress and peril. CRISPR, like penicillin, is a tool of immense promise, but its story is still being written. You walk further, the library's air cool and calming, and find a book from the late 20th century. Its pages glow with the Human Genome Project, a map of life's code that changed science forever. You imagine scientists, their hands trembling with awe, as they traced the helix's 3 billion letters. This map gave CRISPR its power, letting its scissors find their mark with precision. But the book also holds shadows, debates over who owns this map, who profits from its secrets. You picture communities left out, their voices faint in the rush of discovery. The echo here is clear. Science must serve all, or its gifts become divides. Your breath slows, the thoughts settling like dust in a quiet room. The library's starlight wraps you in its gentle glow, and you think of more recent echoes, clinical trials where CRISPR first touched human lives. You see a patient, his eyes bright with hope, receiving a treatment for sickle cell anemia. The scissors snipped a gene, freeing his blood cells from their crescent curse. The trial's success, announced in 2020, was a triumph, a step toward healing. But you also see the caution, years of testing, careful steps to avoid harm, and still questions remain about long-term effects. The helix pulses in your mind, a reminder that each cut carries risks that time alone reveals. You feel a warmth, a quiet trust in the scientists who tread this path with care. Your body sinks deeper into the softness of your bed, the library's shelves fading into a dreamlike haze. You think of other echoes, smaller but no less profound. Farmers in the 1990s embraced genetically modified crops, their fields thriving with engineered resilience. Yet, protests followed, voices raised against tampering with nature's code. The debate echoes now as CRISPR edits seeds and cells alike. You picture a seed, its genes tweaked to withstand drought, and a farmer's smile as his harvest grows. But you also hear the questions: what happens to the soil, the insects, the balance of life? The past whispers that every advance carries a shadow, a lesson to weigh with care. The helix glows at the library's center, its light steady yet fragile. You imagine the hands from before, scientists, parents, leaders, standing in this library, listening to its echoes. They hear the mistakes of eugenics, the triumphs of penicillin, the debates of the genome. Their choices, their cuts, are shaped by these stories, by the wisdom carved in time. You feel a connection to them, a shared reverence for the helix's power. The library hums with possibility, its books a guide for navigating CRISPR's path. Your mind sways, calm and curious, as you wonder how these echoes will shape the future's weave. As you drift closer to sleep, the library softens, its starlight blending with the rhythm of your breath. The helix remains, a quiet beacon, its strands holding the past and the future in delicate balance. You feel the weight of history, not heavy but grounding, like a hand resting on your shoulder. The echoes of science's triumphs and missteps linger, guiding the hands that hold CRISPR's scissors. You muse, your thoughts gentle and unhurried. What wisdom will light the way forward? What lessons will keep the helix's story true? The question hums like a distant melody, carrying you toward the next chapter, where the horizon of humanity stretches into view. The horizon of humanity, your breath, is a soft whisper, a gentle tide carrying you deeper into the quiet of your mind. The ancient library from before fades, its shelves and echoes dissolving into a new scene. You stand now on a vast, open plain, the ground beneath you cool and steady, stretching toward a horizon that glows with the promise of dawn. Above, a sky of endless stars pulses with light, each one a possibility, a future shaped by CRISPR's delicate scissors. The helix, that luminous staircase of life, hovers in the air before you, its strands shimmering like a beacon. Your heart beats slowly, and you wonder, what lies beyond this horizon? Where humanity's story meets CRISPR's power. You step forward, your thoughts calm and unhurried, and feel the vastness of this moment. The plain is alive with whispers of what CRISPR could bring. You see a hospital room, its walls soft with hope, where a patient receives a treatment that silences a cancer-causing gene. The scissors snip, and her future opens like a flower, petals of time unfolding. You picture fields of crops, their roots engineered to thrive in barren soil, feeding millions where hunger once reigned. The helix glows brighter, its light casting visions of a world where disease fades, where scarcity softens, where life's possibilities expand. You feel a warmth, a quiet joy, as if you could reach out and touch this future. But as you gaze toward the horizon, the stars shift, their light revealing shadows as well as hope. You imagine a world where CRISPR's power stretches beyond healing, reshaping what it means to be human. You see a child, her genes edited not just for health but for traits, sharper intellect, stronger body, longer life. The idea sparkles, like a star breaking through clouds, but it carries a question, soft yet persistent. What does it mean to redefine humanity? You picture a society where some are enhanced, their genes tuned like instruments, while others remain untouched. The horizon tilts, its balance fragile. As you wonder if CRISPR will unite us or divide us further, your breath deepens, your body sinking into the softness of your bed. The plane stretches endlessly, its horizon a line between now and what could be. You think of the hands that hold CRISPR scissors, scientists, parents, leaders, communities, all standing together, their choices shaping this future. You imagine them gathered, their voices blending in a quiet chorus, debating how far to go. Should they edit embryos to prevent disease, or pause at enhancements that could alter humanity's essence? The question hums in your mind, like a breeze across the plain, gentle but profound. You feel their shared responsibility, their hope and caution woven into every decision. You pause, the stars above twinkling like a lullaby, and think of the science itself. CRISPR's precision, born from bacteria's ancient defense, is a marvel, a tool that lets us rewrite life's code with care. You picture a lab, its air humming with focus, where researchers test each cut, their screens glowing with the helix's secrets. They know the risks, off-target effects, unintended ripples, but they also see the promise. Cures for Alzheimer's, solutions for hunger, a world where suffering is eased. The horizon glows with their dreams, but it also holds their questions. How do we balance ambition with humility? How do we ensure this tool serves all? Your thoughts drift, carried by the rhythm of your breath, to the broader tapestry of humanity. You see faces, diverse, hopeful, wary, each one a thread in the story of Hoob. CRISPR could weave these threads closer, creating a world where health and abundance are shared. But you also see the shadows of history, the echoes of eugenics and unequal access, warning of divides that could widen. You imagine a future where CRISPR's light reaches every corner. Villages, cities, forgotten places. Its benefits as universal as the stars. The thought is a gentle flame, warming you as you sink deeper into rest. Yet, you know this future depends on choices made now, on hands that wield the scissors with care. The plane feels alive, its horizon pulsing with possibility. You think of the generations to come, their lives shaped by the cuts we make today. You picture a child, her eyes bright with curiosity, her genes free of disease because of CRISPR's touch. But you also see her humanity, her laughter, her dreams, her imperfections, unchanged by enhancements, rooted in the raw beauty of chance. The helix hovers before you, its strands a reminder that we are both creators and creations, shaping life while being shaped by it. Your mind sways, calm and curious, as you hold this balance, this delicate dance between power and restraint. As you drift closer to sleep, the horizon softens, its glow blending with the starlight above. The helix pulses faintly, a beacon of hope and responsibility. You feel the weight of CRISPR's legacy, not heavy but sacred, like a seed that could grow into a forest. The stars whisper questions: what will humanity become, and how will we choose our path? You imagine the hands, the voices, the dreams that will guide this journey, their choices lighting the way like constellations. The plane begins to fade, but the horizon remains, a quiet promise carrying you towards sleep, where the wonder of what's to come cradles you in its gentle embrace. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.